In this podcast episode, Andrew Tate discusses a range of topics that delve into masculinity, societal norms, and personal responsibility. The conversation explores whether Tate is a savior for young men or a danger to society, touching on themes of masculinity, relationships, and the impact of feminism. Tate acknowledges the contrasting perceptions of his persona, where he is seen as both a savior for young men and a danger to society. He argues that these two perspectives are not mutually exclusive. Rather, they coexist in a world that often demonizes masculinity. Tate believes that in a society that seeks to undermine the masculine spirit, his message resonates with young men who feel lost or marginalized. He asserts that his ideas challenge the status quo, which is why they provoke such strong reactions. Tate emphasizes that the backlash he receives only amplifies his message. He suggests that the very nature of his controversial statements serves to highlight the divide in societal beliefs about masculinity. By pushing back against the prevailing narrative, he believes he is helping young men reclaim their identity and purpose, even if it comes at the cost of being labeled a threat by some. The discussion shifts to the essence of masculinity and how it is perceived in contemporary society. Tate argues that masculinity has been unfairly demonized, leading to a generation of young men who are confused about their roles. He posits that traditional masculine traits, such as strength, resilience, and assertiveness, are being undermined by a culture that promotes passivity and compliance. Tate believes that young men need to embrace their masculine identity and reject the notion that they should apologize for it. He argues that masculinity is not inherently toxic. Rather, it is a vital force that drives progress and innovation. By encouraging young men to be unapologetically masculine, he aims to empower them to take control of their lives and destinies. Tate discusses the impact of feminism on society, arguing that it has led to a decline in traditional family structures and birth rates. He contends that feminism has liberated women from their roles as mothers and homemakers, but at a significant cost to society. According to Tate, this liberation has resulted in women prioritizing careers and personal fulfillment over family, leading to a demographic crisis. He asserts that the consequences of this shift are profound, as the traditional family unit is essential for societal stability. Tate believes that the focus on individualism and personal success has come at the expense of collective well-being, and he calls for a reevaluation of societal values that prioritize family and procreation. In the podcast, Tate emphasizes the importance of men in building and maintaining society. He argues that men are the architects of civilization, responsible for creating infrastructure, technology, and culture. Tate believes that men should take pride in their contributions and recognize their value in society. He also highlights the need for men to step up and fulfill their roles as protectors and providers. Tate argues that a strong, capable man is essential for the well-being of his family and community. He encourages men to embrace their responsibilities and strive for excellence in all aspects of their lives. Tate's views on relationships are particularly controversial, as he advocates for non-monogamous arrangements. He argues that traditional monogamy is often unrealistic and that men should not limit themselves to one partner. Tate believes that men should seek multiple relationships to fulfill their desires and needs, as long as they are honest and transparent with their partners. He acknowledges that this perspective may be difficult for some to accept, but he argues that it reflects a more realistic understanding of human nature. Tate believes that men should not be shamed for their desires and that they should embrace their sexuality without guilt or fear of judgment. A recurring theme in Tate's philosophy is the idea that suffering is essential for personal growth. He argues that men must endure hardship and challenges to become stronger and more resilient. Tate believes that the struggles men face shape their character and prepare them for the responsibilities of adulthood. He contrasts this with the experiences of women, suggesting that suffering can have a detrimental effect on their emotional well-being. Tate argues that men should seek out challenges and embrace discomfort as a means of self-improvement. By doing so, he believes they can cultivate the strength and resilience necessary to navigate life's complexities. Tate discusses the role of social media in shaping perceptions of masculinity and femininity. He argues that platforms like Instagram and TikTok promote unrealistic standards and contribute to a culture of superficiality. Tate believes that social media has created a distorted view of relationships, where appearances often take precedence over genuine connections. He emphasizes the need for individuals to be critical of the content they consume and to recognize the impact it has on their beliefs and behaviors. Tate encourages young men to seek authenticity and substance in their relationships rather than being swayed by the curated images presented online. The conversation delves into the concept of loyalty in relationships, with Tate arguing that traditional notions of loyalty may not be applicable in modern contexts. He suggests that many men claim loyalty out of necessity rather than genuine commitment. Tate believes that true loyalty should be based on mutual respect and understanding rather than societal expectations. He challenges the idea that loyalty equates to exclusivity, arguing that men should be free to explore multiple relationships if they choose. Tate contends that loyalty should be defined by the quality of the relationship rather than the quantity of partners, and he encourages men to embrace their desires without guilt. As the podcast progresses, Tate reflects on the future of relationships in a rapidly changing society. He expresses concern about the declining birth rates and the impact of shifting cultural norms on family structures. Tate believes that society must reevaluate its priorities and recognize the importance of family and procreation for future generations. He advocates for a return to traditional values that prioritize commitment and family, arguing that this shift is essential for the survival of society. Tate believes that men and women must work together to create a balanced and harmonious future where both parties can thrive. Throughout the podcast, Tate emphasizes the importance of personal responsibility in shaping one's life. He argues that individuals must take ownership of their choices and actions rather than blaming external factors for their circumstances. Tate believes that true empowerment comes from recognizing one's agency and making conscious decisions to improve one's situation. He encourages young men to adopt a mindset of accountability and to strive for excellence in all areas of their lives. By taking responsibility for their actions, Tate believes that individuals can create meaningful change and achieve their goals. Tate concludes the podcast by discussing the intersection of success and relationships. He argues that financial stability and personal success are crucial for attracting and maintaining healthy relationships. Tate believes that men should focus on building their careers and achieving their goals before seeking long-term commitments. He emphasizes that success provides men with the confidence and resources necessary to navigate the complexities of relationships. By prioritizing personal growth and achievement, Tate believes that men can create fulfilling and meaningful connections with others.